Hi everyone, thanks so much for watching. In today's video, I'm going to do an update on my Project Pan. So I've got all of my Project Pan things in this little carry case here. And I thought what I would do is just go through the products and apply them and kind of update you on how I have been doing. So as I said in my Project Pan video, I'll link it, I have never done one of these before. And so lots of the ladies that I watch here on YouTube consistently do Project Pans. If you're not familiar, there's lots of different versions, but essentially you pick, in my case, I picked sort of a full face of products that I'm not necessarily getting a lot of use out of, and that I'd like to see if I can hit pan on or use up a little bit more. So that's kind of the premise, right? So I've got things in here that I don't use a ton or that are new to me but I wasn't reaching for. So for lots of different reasons for these products, but I've got a full face in here, and so I filmed my Project Pan video explaining why I chose these products. And so today I thought I would go ahead and apply them and let you know how I'm doing. What I should have done was mark them and weigh them, but I didn't do that. So, you know, maybe next time. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got a couple of priming products in here. Let me grab them out. Okay, so the first priming product I have is this one that came in a boxy charm, and it's from Dragun Beauty, and it's a color corrector. I'm just gonna put a little bit under here. I have used this for sure once, maybe twice. Now for me, color correcting is not, you know, it's just not really something I do, to be honest. I don't have a ton of discoloration, or, you know, what I have, I'm not overly concerned about it. But I will say with this product, if nothing else, it is this beautiful, whipped, hydrating product. It feels so nice. Like it has a really hydrating quality. And so I feel like if nothing else, I don't know if that really did anything for color correcting for me. I'm not sure what lavender blocks out. Isn't it orangey reds that block out like the discoloration under your eyes? Or maybe peachy? I don't know. I don't know anything about color correcting, but I feel like if nothing else, this is gonna hydrate under my eyes. So got that on. And then for face primers, I have this one from Colourpop. It's the Pretty Fresh Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer. Again, I've used this a couple of times since I put it in here, and it's very nice. Let me show you here. You can see it there. It is a hydrating primer. It's very nice, no complaints, but just for some reason, I wasn't reaching for it. I have the Bobbi Brown face base, I think is what it's called. It's one of my favorites. If I want something, if my skin feels dry and I'm looking for something super hydrating, that's the one I go for. It's like a thick cream. But this does feel very nice. It definitely feels like a thin hydrating lotion. And so no complaints. I think the thing is it's not as much hydration as the Bobbi Brown one. And so when I'm looking to hydrate, that's the one I'm reaching for. But no complaints with this product at all. It is very nice. It does have a little bit of a scent, but not much. And it's soaked right into my skin. It feels really nice. Okay, and then this product. This is from Saie. I'll link all these products below. I think this was called, I can't remember what this was called, and I can't read the name on the back, but the idea of this is that you can use it underneath makeup or mixed in with makeup. So I'll show you here, I'll put a little bit there. You can see that it does give you a little bit of a illuminating glow, but I feel like I'm just gonna take this kind of on the high points on the perimeter of my face. I feel like this doesn't do much or anything. It doesn't do anything. It's a step that I can live without. And so I don't reach for it. I can't put this on top of foundation. I have tried that a few times. That was my hope. Any foundation I put it over, it lifts right off. It has like kind of an alcohol feel to it, I feel like. Like, I don't know, did that do anything? I'm just not sure it does anything. And so I don't reach for it because who needs extra steps? I already have 45 steps. So I'm not reaching for that product. So that's why it's in here. And honestly, I don't know what that product is for. It does, when I wear it underneath, it gives a slight glow, but I feel like not much more than just some hydrating skincare. As soon as I put foundation on, you're gonna see it disappears. It's gone. And then I can't put it on top of foundation because it lifts the foundation, and when I mix it in, I see no difference in foundations. So I'm glad I bought the mini. I'm glad I didn't buy the full size. Not impressed with this product. Okay, and then for foundation, I have two in here. I have this e.l.f. CC Cream. I'm just trying to use this up. I've got maybe 1 or 2 more uses in it. That's a product I love and I've loved for years. I don't even know how many years. But today I'm gonna put on the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. I feel like, so first of all, I ordered this months ago. I don't know that you can get this in Canada anymore. When I go on their website, it says this doesn't ship to Canada, and I haven't seen it in any drugstores here, so I'm not sure if I just got it. I was just lucky enough to go on and get it kind of right away. I've only used this a couple of times. What I feel like is when I initially put this on, it looks really good. In fact, I feel like it's very much a dupe for the e.l.f. CC Cream that I love. But there's something about how this wears throughout the day that I don't love. It's, you know, all the things about this are very similar. It does have a little bit less SPF. It has 30, whereas the e.l.f. CC Cream has 50. For me, that's really just an added bonus because I've already gone in with all of my morning skincare. And so I already have a thick layer of a 50 all mineral sunscreen. So I'm always happy when products add sunscreen in, but it's not a make or break for me because I do already have a 50 sunscreen on. So I'm just gonna use a sponge and dot this around. That's kind of how I prefer to put on all of my foundations. It's nice, it goes on easy, but for some reason, I'm not reaching for it. And I think it's just because it doesn't wear well through the day. I feel like it's a little less coverage than the CC Cream, is it? Well, maybe not. And this shade might be a little light. I'm looking a little ghostly. We'll have to warm that up a little bit. I have it in the shade Fair 12N, which is kind of a typical shade for me, but we'll get it all blended in and see. So I feel like it's pretty nice. It's very, very similar to the e.l.f. CC Cream, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I feel like I can see it a little bit more. Maybe that's what it is. I just don't know. Again, very similar, and I feel like, and I did do a dupes video where I wore these side by side, and I think the difference would be so subtle, I'm not sure you would notice unless you're looking real close. But there is just, like when I'm far away from my mirror, it's fine. But when I get in close, there's just something about it. It doesn't quite sink into the skin the same. But it does offer nice coverage. Again, this shade was probably a little light for me, but I ordered it online, so you know that's a little hit and miss. For concealer, I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Instant Rewind. What shade do I have this in? 100 Ivory. I've had this a long time actually, so at this point I just need to sort of use it and then get rid of it. So it's got the sponge on the top, which is kind of gross. You twist it up at the bottom and then the product comes out. This for a lot of years was, you know, kind of my go-to. Just gonna do a little bit down the center to brighten. To brighten, but do I need it? I'm looking a little ghostly. You know, habits. Anyways, this was my go-to for a lot of years, and there's nothing wrong with it. I just feel like there's others that I like more now, and that's really all it is. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this concealer. It works really well. It wears nice throughout the day. But I feel like the ordinary concealer has way more staying power than this one, and the coverage is better, but I can also sheer it out. So again, nothing wrong with that concealer. I put it in here so that I would get some use out of it. It still smells fine. Like I can't smell that on my face at all, but I have had it for quite a few years. So probably it's time to use it over the next, you know, however long I decide. and then just get rid of it because, again, I've had it a long time. But I think you can see that offers, it's really nice coverage. It works really well. Okay, let's go in with I've got a couple of cream products and then we'll go in with the powders. So from Flower Beauty, I have this cream blush. This is in the shade Pinched. It's the Blush Bomb. Again, I loved this for a lot of years, but I feel like there's so many new ones out on the market that I love more. And what I'm realizing is this just doesn't have enough color to it for me. Like it's just not punchy enough. I like much more of a stronger blush look than I used to like. I mean, it's pretty. It's very pretty. And maybe if I bought this in a deeper or darker shade, that would, you know, be more to what I like right now. But I feel like I must have liked a more subtle blush years ago because I have had this product for a lot of years, which is why it's in here. I'm just gonna get a little bit more. And this isn't the first one of these I've had. Over the years, I've had quite a few of them. Again, a product that I really, really love. It works really well, but I feel like, and again, maybe it's just the shade, it just doesn't give me enough of that blush look to it. So I think you can see there, it's very subtle, it's very soft, which is nice, you know, and I am very fair, so that can be hard to get that look. And then for highlight, I have this cream stick from Hourglass. This is in the shade Champagne Flash. It is very, very pretty. Again, I've had this a lot of years, and it just kind of sits and doesn't get a lot of use, and really for no reason. I do really, really love this cream highlighter. So I'm just gonna put a whole bunch on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna pick that up with my sponge. Let's see how that looks. Might need to just actually draw this. I hope that picks up on camera. It is so pretty. Okay, that's got all my cream products on. I feel like it's more subtle than I like my makeup to look now. So probably why I'm not reaching for some of those products. Let's go in with a bit of powder. So I have this Becca powder, and it's a mini one. This is the Hydra Mist. So and again, nothing wrong with this powder, and it's a mini, so I just wanted to put it in here so I could use it up a little bit. It's a really nice powder. When I first bought this, it definitely felt wet and cold when you put it on your face, and it doesn't have that sensation anymore, but it's still a really nice powder. So I put it in here so that I would use it up because again, I've had it quite a few years. I definitely feel like that e.l.f. CC cream needs to be set a little bit. It does feel a little bit tacky, a little bit greasy on my skin. That could be the primers that I put underneath too. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in all over with this Hourglass powder, and it's the ambient lighting powder. I have this in here because I don't want to dip it. I typically use this as an all over powder, so I am going to take it on a big fluffy brush. I've had this a long time. I've tried to repress it. It's just getting to the point where I just need to be done with it. So I'm going to get some use out of it in this project pan, and then, I mean, you can see it's pretty beat up. And so because it's so beat up and a little finicky to use at this point, I tend not to reach for it because it can make a mess. But I do really love the effect it gives. Because I haven't been using as many powders lately. I've just been going in with all cream products. But I used to do I used to use powders a lot more. And to kind of get that dewy effect, I would go in with a powder like this. So I do really enjoy that powder. And again, I've had it for years and years. Okay, let's go in with a blush, bronzer, and highlight. Now, I have a few options in here. I bought this mini set from Benefit, which is new to me. I have used it a few times, and I really like all those products. And then I have one of the mini Dandelion highlighters. This is a product that, again, I've repressed it, and it's kind of on its last legs. So let's use that as a highlight today. But I'm gonna go in and use a little bit of this palette from Cover FX. So you've got a highlight, a brightener, a finishing powder, a blush, and a contour shade. I'm going to use that just as a bronzer, actually. I'm just going to use this same fluffy brush. This palette's in here just because I have so many face palettes. I mean, I don't even know. I probably have 25 face palettes, you guys. And I don't reach for them because I just don't. I love them. I love the idea of it, but I just don't reach for it. So I've got it in here to get some use out of, and to be honest, I haven't reached for it since it's been in here even. I'm gonna take this finishing powder and I'm just gonna set my eyelids. That's where I get creasing, not so much underneath. I mean, I do get creasing underneath, but more so on my upper lid. And I feel like any powder I put underneath just makes my eyes look dry. My under eyes look dry and, you know, crepey and older, which isn't the goal. Okay, and then I'm gonna take this brightening shade and I'm gonna put it up on the brow bone. Okay, and then let's take a little bit of the blush. I feel like these powders are very pigmented. And I do think this comes in a couple of shades. Like I think this is the lighter shade I have, but I do think it comes in a deeper shades for all those powders as well. Very, very pretty. It's very nice. Okay, let's go in with this Dandelion Highlighter. And it is a crumbly mess in here. Like it's just, it's falling everywhere. But it is so pretty. It's a pretty subtle highlight, but I do like that. So is that gonna pick up with the light? Very subtle, but very, very pretty. So I do have this trio from Stila that I put in, and it is the Glitter and Gold Cream Shadows. When I put them in here, I thought I would get another use or two out of them, but you know what? They're done. Like I've tried to use them a couple of times. This one is Bronze Girl, and I feel like, yeah, when I do it on the back of my hand, maybe I can get a little bit, but when I actually try to put it on my eyelid, it won't move. Like it kind of immediately sets down. This one is Golden Eye. Well, maybe they are showing up a little bit here. Maybe we could try to use one. And then this one is Rockin' Rose. Let's try to use the first one, this Bronze Girl, and see if we can get a little bit on here where it doesn't immediately dry down. Yeah, do you see, like it leaves a little bit of glitter, but it doesn't really leave any, I mean, not much for color, but we did it on one, so let's try to get a little bit on the other eye here too. And they're instantly dry, like they have no working time left in them. But when I first bought them, they weren't like that. That's the problem for me because I just so rarely do an eyeshadow look. Yeah, so it doesn't really deposit any color. I'm just getting glitter flakes. So I think those are pretty much done, which is too bad because, you know, when I bought these, I was so excited to have them, but because I rarely wear anything on my eyelids, I didn't use them and they just dried up. So yeah, all I've really got on there is some glitter. Will be interesting in the sunshine at the garden center because that's where I'm going later. Okay, let's go in and do our brows. I've got 3 brow products in here. I have this slim brow pencil from AOA, which is off the Shop Miss A, and it's in dark brown. And I put it in here just to try it because I feel like it's just doesn't deposit much. Like I have to really work to get the product to lay down. And then I have this brow pencil that I got from Brow Bar by Rima. And again, it's a very slim brow pencil. And for me, it's just this reddy brown color. Can you see the difference? Like, I prefer a dark brown, and this one is more of an auburn brown. So I thought what I would do is just kind of use both of them today. And then also from Benefit, I have this brow gel. It's in here because it's so old. There's actually not any writing on it anymore, but it still works. So I'm just going to use it for the next few months and then be done with it. But I wanted to get a few more months of use out of it because it is still perfectly fine. So let's go in with these brow pencils. I'll start with the AOA one, the one from Shop Saie, because these are like $1. Let me grab a mirror. Just gonna brush my brows up. Yeah, I do feel like it just doesn't want, it's not as creamy as I would like, but you know what, it is working just fine. So there's that one penciled in with the Shop Saie one, honestly for $1 or $2, whatever these cost. That worked really well. Okay, let's go in on the other side. This might look kind of funny, but I'm gonna top it with the tinted brow gel anyway, so I feel like it'll be fine. This is the one from Brow Bar by Rima. Yeah, it's the shade for me. It's kind of a reddy brown. Which shade did I get in this? Medium. The pencil itself works fine, and I bet it's hard to find this kind of reddy brown shade. So if that's something that you're looking for, this is definitely like an auburn color, and I don't like that. I'll see if I can get close enough for you guys to see. Can you see how that one's kind of a reddy brown and that one is a dark brown? Also, look at all the glitter. The other thing with this is that this was quite expensive. Well, it's kind of that medium price point, and this came already broken. Like, this isn't glued in here well enough to hold it in. Every time I take it, it comes out. So it's the color for me. I don't like the color. The pencil works fine. I'm just gonna comb through them and then top it with that brow gel. See if that just evens them out, because I don't want to go out with one red and one brown. And you know, I have a lot of brow hair, so I feel like it's a little bit forgiving because, you know, I'm not fully filling in my brows. I'm just filling in the sparseness. But if you're looking for a color match and you want a dark brown, that's not going to be it. That's definitely going to be a reddy brown. So I'm just going to go in with the gel. This is a very nice brow gel. I mean, I think Benefit is kind of known for their brow products. I can really see the red in this side. This is pretty much dried out, I think. Yeah, I much prefer this one with the dark brown look to this one where it is a little more of that auburn. So yeah, I don't love that brow pencil. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I didn't grab the right color. Okay, what else have we got? Oh, you guys, I have this mascara in here. This is by Essence. It's the Lash Princess. People love this mascara, and over the years, I've bought multiples of it. I just don't like it. It's not good. I feel like it has all the things I want. It's got a nice big brush that I love. It says it's going to give you a false lash effect. No, it doesn't. Every time I use this, I'm like, what? Okay, I'm going to get in close to my mirror. I'm going to really give this a good shot here. I'm going to try to get in close and see if I can really get some nice big full lashes. I'll put on one coat and I'll come back and show you what I get. Okay, there's one coat. Like, I mean, it definitely, I can see a difference, but a false lash effect, I don't think so. I think as this has sat, it's gotten better because I have had this a few months. And it is very inexpensive. Like, I think this was less than $5 here in Canada. Whereas the Lash Paradise that I love, that's my holy grail, is anywhere from 10 to 15. So this is fairly inexpensive. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do a second coat. I might even try to do 3 and see what we can get out of this. Okay, there's 3 coats. You know what? This has definitely improved as it has sat. It's a drier formula now, so I get it a little bit. I get it. Those are pretty good lashes. And for the price point, yeah, I think the trick is you need to let it sit a little bit, a couple months, open it up, and then don't use it for a couple of months. Yeah, that's really pretty. Okay, all right. I don't know how many of these I've had over the years that I just feel like they didn't work. So I'm gonna go ahead, do the other eye, and then I'll come back. I've got a setting spray, I've got a lip liner, and I've got a setting powder for after. So I'll go and do the other eye and be back. Okay, there's got my makeup pretty much done. For setting mist in here, I have this one from Smashbox. It is the Photo Finish Setting Spray Weightless. I've done pretty well on this actually. For whatever reason, it was in my setting mist drawer and I just never reached for it. So I am gonna go in at this point, because it's at the very end, when I spray it, I am getting some pretty big water droplets. So I'll just, you know, kind of dab those off with the sponge, but, oh. Yeah, it is right down to pretty much the end. I think the big thing with that setting mist is that I just don't notice it does anything. Like for sure, it's, you know, it's a mist, so it's gonna help my makeup kind of melt in and settle into my skin a little bit. It doesn't give any dewiness, which I like. It doesn't claim to do that, but that's just my preference for a setting mist. So it doesn't give any dewiness. I don't find it helps it last longer, and I do think it does say that it does that. Did I read that? I thought I maybe read that online or something. But yeah, and it's not a great mister. Like even from day one, it was a little bit kind of hit and miss. And for the price point, you know, Smashbox is not inexpensive. So yeah, anyways, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but I wouldn't repurchase, and I am almost done it, so that's exciting. Okay, let's go in with this lip liner. I got this, I think, in a BoxyCharm like a lifetime ago. How do you say this brand? Jaunt Blue, maybe? It's a pencil lip liner. I have it in the shade Brown Sugar, 943 Brown Sugar. It's fine. It's just not my favorite, so I don't reach for it. And truthfully, I don't line my lips a ton anyway. I prefer a more diffused lip than a defined lip. So, but let's go in and use it today. You know, it is actually, it's pretty creamy. When I first used it, I thought, oh, it's not very creamy, but that went on really easy, actually. I'm just gonna kind of spread it out. I think for my preferences, it is maybe more of a deeper shade than I would typically use, but I think it looks pretty. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, I'm just gonna top it with a bit of gloss. This is not in my project pan. I didn't put any, really, other than that lip liner, I didn't put any lip products in here because honestly, I'm wearing glosses or nothing, or lip balm, because I'm wearing a mask everywhere I go. But I do have this one from Tarte. This is like probably my all-time favorite tinted lip balm. I love the smell. I love the feel. They're so hydrating. This is in the shade Wish, and I feel like for me that is the perfect shade. That's the shade I love. It's like a rosy, browny nude shade. I love it. Okay, so let's go in. Now, I did a whole video trying out this L'Oreal Infallible foundation in a powder. I tried it as a all-over powder foundation. No, that's not for me. I know I mention this in every video, but I have dry skin. Like, as dry as skin can be, that's my skin. And so for me, this was a no. And you know what, though? It wasn't horrible. I'm just not going to reach for it and use it that way, but I thought maybe I could use it. So typically what I do is I go in with a setting spray and then I let it sit for a minute or two, which I've done, and then I go in and I just gently powder my T-zone because I like it to be dewy around the perimeter but more matte down the center. And I thought maybe this will work for that. Let's see, how can I show you? You can see it there. I mean, it has some coverage. But I wonder, I put it in here to try it. I'm just gonna take a little bit on my puff. It's interesting because I felt like the day that I wore this, my skin looked dry at the start, but then kind of greasy throughout the day. I'll link that video so you can see how that kind of performs on dry, mature skin. But yeah, it's not for me. Like, I'm not gonna use it as an all-over powder foundation. I would be surprised if there's any powder foundation I'm ever gonna love, just with the level of dryness I'm dealing with. You guys, I think that looks really pretty. I think that really worked well. I like that. We'll see. I will put a little, maybe I'll pin a comment or just in the description box, I'll put how this all wore throughout the day, but maybe this is good, not for me as an all over foundation, but just to sort of mat out the T-zone. We'll see how it wears throughout the day. And I am going out to the garden center, so I have to wear a mask, and it's warm out today. So we'll really see how this kind of all holds up. But yeah, I'm so glad I put this in here. Been in here a month and I haven't tried it yet. So I think my makeup turned out pretty nice, actually. I think it looks nice, it looks fine. Again, lots of these products are in here just so I could get some use out of them because a few of them are pretty old. Well, I should have weighed them, but I didn't. But I'll do better in my next project pan. So anyways, an update on the products that are in here, how I've been using them or haven't been using them, my thoughts on them, kind of, I think I'm about a month into this. I love this. I love this. I love having these products sitting here reminding me that I need to try them. It's working really well for me. Quite a few of these products I've grabbed a few times in the last month. So even with lots of new stuff coming in, because that's what happens, right? I get new stuff in and then I don't use the older things and then they just sit. They're just not as new and exciting anymore, which isn't what I want. I want to cycle through my collection, right? I don't want things to go bad. I don't want to have to throw things away, but also I want to buy new things all the time. So this might be a good way for me to sort of cycle through a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed this update on my project pan. I'll maybe do one of these once a month just to see how I'm going with things. And then I thought every 3 months we could do like an actual update and maybe, you know, get rid of the stuff that, you know, I can no longer really use and bring in other products. So it's kind of a rolling project pan. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would subscribe, that would be amazing. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, everyone.